right, my name is Joshua. Tonight I'll be your waiter here at the Orange Bench. You all have showed up at a very nice night. Tonight actually marks 1 full week since I started working here at the Orange Bench. Excuse me. I'm sorry, you look extremely familiar. Is your name Frank? Frank Lentini? No. Okay. Great. As I was saying, tonight marks 1 full week since I started working here at the Orange Bench, and I couldn't be happier with the job. Alrighty. How about drinks for starters? What will we be having? Water? Water? And more water. Great. I'll be right back with those. Alrighty, everybody. Here are your waters. Why don't I give you folks a quick rundown of the menu? For starters, we have a delightful fig flatbread that is drizzled in a balsamic vinegar. House salad is also available. I'm sorry. So you don't even recognize the name, Frank Lentini. He's not a cousin. You're not his bastard son. Right. As I was saying, house salad is available to those that want it. It's a lot of arugula, walnuts, turmeric tahini dressing, some apples. Listen, you look a lot like that guy, so I think for the rest of the night, I'm just going to call you Frank, if that's chill with you. Frank and I, we met years ago. He was a carnival barker, a carny. He looked just like you, but with much smaller hands. That's not to say that you have large hands. He just had tiny, grubby hands. Cabbage Patch doll. For our main, the chef has prepared a favorite of hers, duck confit with a black truffle risotto. Someone will be here shortly with your food. Thank you. Alrighty, I see your food has arrived. How are we feeling? Is it all good? That's good. That's great. Frank? How are you liking that fig flatbread? I know how particular you can get. Alright. How's my favorite table doing? Oh! So you guys have run out of water. I'll have someone come around and refill those for you guys. I'm on to you, motherfucker. Alrighty. So, how did we enjoy our meal tonight? Everything up to par? That's good. Listen, folks, I owe you all a bit of an apology. As I'm sure it's clear to all of you, I am dealing with a little bit of trauma that happened to me related to an incident that happened when I was 13 at a carnival. I've been going to therapy for some time now to make sure that that event doesn't affect my professional life, but clearly I've got a ways to go. So, in all honesty, the memory haunts me. Every waking moment. The moment I stepped on to that carnival grounds, Frank locked onto me like a gazelle of a weak lion. He wore a long burgundy overcoat with massive gold gaudy buttons and a black belt that pulled in his paunch with a big rusty ring of keys attached at his hip. He looked at me like a project. He took me on a personal tour of his carnival. There was your standard fare attractions. An elephant for the kiddies to ride. Contortionists that bent further than my 13-year-old mind thought possible. At the end of the tour, Frank looked at me and he leaned down and he said, "Boy, I've taken a liking to you. I want to show you my special rooms." I should have known. I should have known better. I was 13. I should have known not to talk to strangers or follow them places, but Frank led me to the edge of his carnival, to what I assumed was an entrance and exit for performers only. He lifted the curtain, and there inside was a large hallway with 3 massive cages all in a row. Frank took me to the first cage, and there inside, what was only could be described as a mutated Wolverine. A creature 3 times its normal size with stretch marks tearing through its fur. Frank said that he had found it in the south of Peru and that he had named it Alistair. Frank walked me along to the next cage, and there inside was a man, a pale man, thin, tall, about 1 foot too tall for his cage, hunched over, and he stared at me with the blackest eyes I had ever seen. Deep, vacuous pits that I fell into and was hypnotized under. I would have been stuck there for hours had Frank not dragged me along to that 3rd and final cage. And that 3rd cage was nothing but darkness. I couldn't see anything. Frank turned on a nearby lamp, and there in the corner, illuminated, was a mirror. Frank walked over to the cage and said, "Now this is my favorite addition to my collection in years." He unlocked the cage, opened the door, turned to me and said, "Go inside. It's safe." I trusted him. I walked into the cage and I walked to that mirror. And in the dim lit light, I saw a sign over the top of that mirror. It was one word: F-R-E-A-K. I looked at my reflection, and in the back I saw Frank slam that door shut. He locked it. I had become part of his collection. As he was leaving, he turned to me and he said, "You should have been prepared, Joshua. You should have been prepared." If it wasn't for my time as a scout, I don't think I would have been able to lockpick my way out of that cage. Ever since that day has been nothing but preparation for the day I run into Frank Lentini once again. I trained in the arts of judo, karate, Krav Maga. I found God, and he powers these fists. Ephesians chapter 6, verses 11 and 12. Wear the armor of God so that you may stand firm against the tactics of the devil. For our struggle is not with the flesh and the blood, but with the principalities, with the powers, with the world leaders who rule this current darkness, with the evil spirits in the heavens. This time I'm prepared, Frank. This time I'm prepared. I have my armor on, Frank. Do you? What? like to see. Just a